Daniel, in a previous video, you mentioned that you used DAT services. How do you find that works for you?
DAT, dial a truck, is what it stands for. Is absolutely amazing. It's the only load board that I use. It's got the tools to help you be successful, especially if you're just starting out. Um, it'll help you be a lot more profitable than just jumping into this entire independent searching for loads game on your own with no experience. Um, it's a good service. I like it.
Does it have the averages on it? And
It it does. It has the 15-day average or the 30-day average, and depending on what package or subscription you get with it, it's got that. It's got the broker credit score on there, which is very important because you don't want to haul for a broker that's not going to pay you. It's got the DAT assurance on there, which is a little green check mark. Depending on if you're looking, I think it's on all three, the mobile and the computer. But that assurance is I'm getting tongue tied on a recording. That data assurance is there for it tells you that a broker will pay. If the broker doesn't pay you by chance, then when you book that load, if you register it with DAT, which only takes a second to do that, you book the load through there, then DAT will step in and become your collections agency. They will do everything they can to get the money for you, and then if the broker doesn't pay, DAT pays you.
oh, they didn't used to do that. I like that.
Yeah,
That's great.
and it's a free service with the Trucker's Edge subscription. You can't beat that because I can't remember if this was my first or second week out. I had a broker do that. They didn't pay me.
How did it happen?
That was $2,300, I believe it was. And just starting out, I needed every penny. Every penny was accounted for. So I didn't learn about the DAT assurance until after that I was able to get the money fairly quickly. I guess 45 days from that broker. But it was a long, drawn-out process. I learned how to use a collection agency. I learned how to report on someone's credit as a business owner because you can do that. Finally got the money, but if I would have paid attention about the green check mark, then I could have had my money a lot faster. I was already subscribed to DAT, so they were in my corner. I just didn't use them, but now I know. So
Watching that credit rating on these shippers and brokers, the brokers, is really important.
it's very important. There's so many brokerages that will pop up today and be gone tomorrow.
Right. They just close it down.
Close it down, disappeared. You'll never see them again.
Run with the money.
Run with the money.
Yeah, I used that back in the day, but it was compared to what it is now, it's a whole different animal.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to have a stronger look at it, I believe.
it's a good, really good, and it also gives you, the average days that a broker pays out. So if you are doing the direct billing, you're not going to a factoring service, then it'll tell you, 30 days average to pay, 45 days, 15 days on some of the brokers that'll pay out. So that's really good to know. So if you haul a load for them and you're going to direct bill, then you can work out your accounts receivable for the next month or so. So
If
when
you're sitting in Chicago and you're looking around at maybe Dallas or something, how do you see the load ratio? Is it pretty good?
It is. When you pull up as soon as you log into DAT, it's going to come up and you can select what platform you're pulling, whether it's step deck, dry van, specialized equipment, or refrigeration, like what I pull, and then it'll give you the load to load ratio to truck ratio, or the load to load ratio. How many loads are going into the state? How many loads are coming out? And you can refresh that, and it updates live, so you can really make a good judgment. Because if you're not, you want to hire a lot higher rate if you're going to say Price, Colorado, which is out in the middle of nowhere, versus to Dallas, just because you're going to have a lot of deadhead in there. So that's very important.
So you can easily look at it, and it gives you that there's 500 loads going in here, and 14 coming out.
Right, and automatically it's a dead area.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to get out. There's going to be deadhead, or there's going to be a lot of sit time.
So you can adjust what loads you're bidding on,
Right.
and say I got to have a better rate.
Gotta have a better rate. There's either going to be a lot of deadhead or a lot of sitting time.
Right.
And you want to keep your daily averages up on the freight that you're running, because that's very important for your profit margin.
Now, in a situation like that, like with we were just talking about going to Dallas from Chicago, how far out will you then look? Like the next sector, you look at Oklahoma City, Houston, Texarkana.
If I'm going to a very popular area that has a lot of freight, like right now, let's say Atlanta, Georgia was a very good market that I just delivered in a week ago. I didn't look for my next load until the day before I got there. Then I actually didn't book anything that the day before I got there. I booked while I was getting unloaded. So if there's a really good market, a strong market, I might not book anything until I get there. Now, so let's say if I'm going to El Paso or Denver, Colorado, I'm going to start looking throughout my entire trip there, so I can book something and have it ready for me when I get unloaded to get out of there.
It's good information, Daniel.
If you're going to a bad market, you don't want to wait until the last minute to start booking your freight. Even in a good market, I normally try to book ahead. Always book ahead if you can. I have better luck doing that than I do waiting for the last minute. Say a broker has a load that doesn't book, and he's got 2 hours to book it. They're going to come up on the rates on that. But then you're competing with everybody watching for that.
I've listened to a lot of other guys, and I've noticed a trend that most of them don't actually book early.
Right.
That they'll wait until they're unloaded before they even start looking. And I think it costs them in the long run.
I did that for 1 full month, waiting, watching, and then I compared it to another month that I didn't book, wait till the last minute. I booked early, and my revenue went up 13%.
Good numbers, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't lose as many days in between,
Right.
and that's where the loss comes from.
Right. And when I book early, I can usually, as soon as I'm empty, I can go straight to my pickup, my next load.
But I think they're looking at, well, if I wait till the last minute, maybe I can get that just-in-time freight, and I'm going to get it for $3 or something. You know, that's probably what was on their mind.
But in the trucking world, in my opinion, that's dangerous.
I agree.
You can be losing a lot more time and revenue planning it that way.
I will take a slightly cheaper load to move than to sit for a higher dollar load that I may not get for 3 days.
Right. Yeah. Because once you sit for all that downtime, it's gone. You can't make it up.
Thank you, Daniel.
You're welcome.